Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hello everyone, and here are your news for this week. Join host Andrew FRETT every Friday on our podcast for his show, Let's Fret About Education, where he interviews amazing guests and discusses his own opinions and thoughts about the topics on Future Educators Talk and what's happening around the world. Follow and subscribe to my own podcast, DAMIAN Talks Education, everywhere you stream your podcast ads, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. New episodes of Future Educators Talk drops on Thursdays, so follow and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast ads. Follow Future Educators Talk on social media: Facebook, Future Educators Talk, Instagram at Future Educators Talk, and on Twitter at Future Ed Talk. So follow our podcast. And follow your host of Future Educators Talk on social media. You can follow me, Damian Anderson, on Instagram at @DamianAnderson and on Twitter at _Damian Anderson. You can follow Andrew FRETT on Instagram at @It'sAndrewFRETT and on Twitter at Darren_Fret. And you can follow KJ Johnson II on Instagram at KJJohnsonII and on Twitter at KJJohnson11 or II. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Future Educators Talk, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of our video version episodes that we upload. Also, you can now listen to past episodes of our show on our YouTube channel and on all the podcast platforms that we are located at. Now sit back and relax because a new episode of Future Educators Talk is starting now.
Welcome to Future Educators Talk with your hosts, Damian Anderson, Andrew FRETT, and KJ Johnson II. Always remember, we are future educators.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Future Educators Talk. As you may see, I'm back. I'm back from my my leave. This was unscheduled. And as you can see or hear, if you listen to this on our broadcast, that Damian Anderson is not here. He is taking a full season leave for this season and next season. So we wish him the best of luck, and we are hoping we will see him again in season 5 for the very beginning episode of season 5. So today's topic, of course, KJ is here with me to talk about this topic. So today's topic is American Education Week, which is coming up in about a couple more weeks. That's a week before Thanksgiving. So I'm go ahead and let KJ start us off with that. Oh, you're muted.
My bad. With this week, I never knew it existed until you all told me, and it's great that we have a whole week dedicated towards public education. really all facets of education, not really just public education. I'm, school districts have planned for this week if they have anything planned. I'm excited to see, the great things, especially with this new office that's coming into DC, the plans that they have for public education, really education as a whole. So, it's a lot of waiting and expectancy for the future, and I'm just so excited that we get the opportunity to discuss it.
Yes, absolutely. And in case y'all have not known already, but our lovely Mr. Joe Biden is now President-elected Joe Biden. Just in case you have not found out already, because I didn't know until I got off of work this afternoon, and apparently he has won around about 11:30 this morning. So yeah, I didn't know this either until DAMIAN sent me the schedule for the remaining season. So I didn't know. So American Education Week happens the week prior to the week of Thanksgiving. Each day of the week has its own theme, which celebrate public school communities. So there are different days in the week that does this. So for Monday, November 16th is the kickoff day. So all across the country, schools will be celebrating excellence in education by hosting kickoff events and activities. Now, my question is this: how are they going to do this with COVID? That's the big question right there.
I directly can't answer that question. I'm sure every school district and every state has their own protocol and how they do things that way. I've seen schools do successful gatherings with, safely, that's gone off without a hitch. And I've also seen the other side of it where, other schools were not so fortunate. So I guess it really just depends on the district and state, school, and everything. Hopefully everybody does it in a safe way. I'm not a fan of virtual. I don't like virtual. I like people. I like to see people. I like the handshake, and the occasional hug with the mask on, of course. However, you can't do that with everybody. And so I'm so excited just to see the different things, and it gives, schools and teachers and educators and administrators to have the chance to be creative with their protocols.
Absolutely, with their protocols, of course. Which is kind of a big deal because, of course, we don't want any more cases of COVID. So we don't want that. So for the teachers that are out there that have that in-person learning right now, or either have that A day or B day, have your students write an essay of what would I do if I were the school principal, and share the best ones, or hold a poetry reading on the topic what I like best about my schools, or have students make cards showing support for their educators. So that's just ideas for the kickoff of Monday. For Tuesday is Parents' Day. Now, as you may remember, beginning of this pandemic, really parents were really the teachers now, because of course schools were closed due to the pandemic, and now parents are now understanding what teachers are going through from a day-to-day basis, and now they get to realize this is what they do. This is what teachers do every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And some of them are applauding for them, for their hard work, and why, teachers are not getting raised and all that stuff. So it's really important to have those parents show the teacher's perspective.
And that's like you said, that's so vital, because you get, you know, a newfound respect on educators and what they have to deal with. Most parents don't know who their child is, like, you know, outside of the walls of their home. And you know, for the most part, and I believe, you know, and assume that a lot of parents actually figured out, you know, who their child really is after, you know, this quarantine style of schooling. Um, Gives them a newfound respect on education, and it gives them, you know, and it's really good for education because it gives public education, you know, school districts opportunity to, you know, push for community efforts in different initiatives, and the community be more prone to help out, just because, you know, they've had that first-hand experience with direct instruction during the virtual style of schooling. And so it is a blessing and a curse. However, you know, you always want to see the good out of it. And
Right.
so, you know, I'm excited to see, you know, the good things that come out of this.
Yeah. Some good things out of this. Hopefully I hope now parents are now appreciating teachers more than ever. So, you know, I hope they understand what teachers go through. I hope they do, because once this pandemic is over and once schools are officially reopening, it's up to them now. So, also speaking of which, I just read a post on Facebook not too long ago before we started this podcast, and it's just ridiculous how parents are really mean and nasty to teachers, even though teachers are putting their 100% each and every day. And it's just ridiculous how parents are, you know, are being nasty to them. You know, you don't realize what teachers do every day. And plus they teach so many students in a day. You know, they can't keep track of student performance. You know, they can't call each student every day, that student's parent every day.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So, you know, now it's on the parents to take that extra step to ensure that, you know, your kids are being properly educated. That, you know, even though you can't do things like differentiate instruction, or you can't do things like provide assessment criterias, you can't do those things. However, you can really tell if a student is grasping a concept that is being taught or not, um, just by this simple, you know, completing an assignment. You know, Google is a great resource for teachers, for parents who, you know, who don't know the content that's being taught. You know, and it's on the parents to actually go out and take the initiative to learn. And
Mhm.
so I think that's so important. I think that's so vital. And I really think that that's one of the great things that's coming out of this. Now parents have that, you know, experience now, to where they can be more directly involved in their child's education when, you know, these schools return back to the building.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah. So that's for Tuesday, for Parents' Day. Um, Again, parental involvement means reading to your children, checking homework every night, um, you know, developing a relationship with your child's teacher. That's a big one
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Simply asking your child about their school day. You know, sit down and talk to them. You know, find out why they're having a rough day at school. Find out why. Um, Whatever that level of involvement, it's important to be consistent in order to make a difference in your child's lives. It's really important.
and 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 it's so important because it just gives the students that the teachers, not the teachers, the parents, that experience. And for them to actually take the initiative and take the extra step with their students and the students, the children, whatever, and ensure that they are being educated properly and they are retaining the content as well as the teacher is teaching it.
Or else they'll arrive at school the next day, find out why they're not being teach that lesson or that concept. Because trust me, once they show up to school, it's going to be a wrap. So, so for this year, this is what parents can do. Either you can invite the parents virtually in your classroom, to read to the students or talk about the career or some other educational information outside the norm curriculum, or send or email pre-printed Apple papers with places for students to fill in their favorite subject, time of day, what they liked about their classroom or teacher, or a section for parents to write their own school memories. Which I think that's a great idea to have a section for parents to share their school memories, because of course they went through school, so we want to know how they did it, how they experienced in school, in high school, middle school, how they do it. So
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. The call came in the line. I'm using Zoom on my phone, and like 3 calls just came in at once for some reason.
okay.
And so, yeah, I was trying to talk, but my mic was on mute. You're so right. Inviting parents into the classroom to actually witness that instruction. That's the part where you said what you said that stood out to me. That's so vital to me. That's if you're talking about getting parents involved, in this virtual age, that's the main way. That's the perfect way to do it. They're so important. So yeah, you're exactly right.
So for Wednesday is Education Support Professionals Day, which was first celebrated in 1987, making a body of nearly 8,000 member delegates called on an organization to honor the contributes of all school support staff. When I mean support staff, I mean ASO people, cafeteria people, janitors, even the people in the front office, the receptionist, the data manager, everybody in that school is an educator. You may not think that they're educators, but they're educators.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. It might not be the traditional teachers, may not be the traditional principals, counselors, assistant principals, whatever you want to call them. However, they are educators because they are a direct impact on that student's life and educational journey. So I do agree with your sentiments on that.
Yep. Yeah. So they are the reason why they're going to that job every day. That's why they love their job every day.
Yep.
Because they want to see that student's growth. They want to see that student succeed. Because I'm pretty sure at every graduation, either the receptionist, the data manager, or somebody in that front office will be there at graduation telling that student, congratulations, or you made it. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. I have no more thoughts on it. That's perfect.
So here's some ideas. So arrange a safe food or gift delivery for your people in school or your district, or encourage teachers, students, or parents to mail or email a thank you letter to them in their school. Um, it's that simple, you know.
Yep.
It's very that simple. You know, they do this for a living. That's why they, again, I'm gonna say this over and over again. That's why they make an impact in students' lives. That's why they want a student to succeed in life. You know, so that that student can come back to that school 5 years later and tell them all the great things that they're doing to everybody that's in the front office.
Yep. And I mean, I really don't have anything else to say about it. That's exactly right. Every adult in that building that has direct access to those students, to me, is dubbed an educator just because of the impact that they have on the student's educational career and upbringing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, Thursday for Thursday, November 19th is educator for a day. I'm pretty sure we love this. We love this. So for this day, um, the visiting educator will perform all the duties of a regular school employee in a normal work day, you know, teaching class, performing lunch, basically what a teacher will do every single day. Um, which I think is a great idea for those that want to see from a teacher's perspective. Also for the ones that also want to be a teacher as well. I know back in eighth grade, I self-taught. Well, I've taught. I'm putting in quotations. My uh, my classmates how to do self proportions, and that is the basically that's the kickstart. That's how I really want to be a teacher, because I love what I'm doing. I love, you know, teaching math. I love to help people, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that day, which is funny because the day prior, I start um, my mind kicked in teacher mode, you know, start making lessons plans, start, you know, doing all these things what a teacher would do on a normal basis so that on the day of the lesson I can just immediately hop on it and start teaching.
Yeah, and I like how you brought up the fact that you taught your classmates, and that's real. That I commend that because a lot of people really don't take that initiative to actually help their classmates, understand the concept. I'm not going to say help their classmates pass, but help their classmates understand and retain the concept that is being taught. Because you teaching is another form of learning. I know for me, I'm a minister. I preach, and when I'm preaching, I'm learning. When I'm tutoring people, I'm learning,
Mhm.
because it's something about, you can read it in your head all day. You can read it, and it can be on the paper all day. However, when I speak it and I actually hear it coming coming into my ears, that's a different form of understanding, because now what may make sense in your head doesn't make sense out loud, because everybody thinks differently. And now when you put it out in the air, it gives, it not only gives yourself feedback, because, I'm a preacher, people are going to tell me, you're not exegeting that text right, because, everybody's going to know when I'm preaching it. Um, you get the feedback from others, whereas if it's verbal or nonverbal, and, you get to hear it and understand it in a different way, rather it not just being in your head. Now it's out in the air. So yeah, you're exactly right about that. I commend that.
And you're learning something new every day. Learning
Yep.
never stops. You're learning something new every day. Just because, you know, you may be relaxed at home, not doing anything, well, learning You learn something new every day. Learning never stops. So if you're thinking that learning can just stop, you think wrong. You're learning something new every day. It might not be today, but it could become tomorrow or the next day. Just like today, I didn't know that American Education Week was the week before Thanksgiving. I didn't know that. KJ didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Just keep that in mind. As you going to work, as you driving down the highway or driving down your neighborhood, you're learning something new every day. So keep that in mind. I kind of like this idea right here for ideas for celebrating. Ask your students, this is for the teachers out there, ask your students to dress as if they were in their future career and talk about that professional's role in the community. I like the idea. Some people want to be a doctor or a nurse or a veterinarian. Have those students dress up, or have those students to dress up and talk about that profession's role and why as well. Why do you chose that role?
That's a great technique for an elementary school, I would say. And regarding high school, middle school, secondary school, because secondary school is 7th grade to 12th grade, or in some cases 6th grade to 12th grade. Yeah, I wouldn't use dress up, but I would use, like a research project or something of that nature that gives, the different aspects on, whichever career they are looking into. Dress up is cool for the elementary school kids because, it's still on their level. You have to differentiate your instructor for the different levels. But high school, I'm making them put together a research project and, how that career can potentially affect the future that you live in, not the present day, but the future you will live in. Because as educators, we are preparing students to live in the future, not the now, because the now is our generation. The future is the generation that we're going to be teaching. So I'm preparing kids to live in the future, 5-10 years down the road. What would they know? What would they have learned within my class that would help them live a more positive, productive life?
I absolutely agree, 100% right there. There are no words, actually. Kind of like a research project for the middle school and high schoolers. Do a research project. So yeah, absolutely. So the end of the week for Friday, November 20th, is substitute educators, or AKA substitute teachers. They played a vital role in the maintenance and continuity of data education. So when a teacher is out, of course, you're going to have that sub. Of course, everybody loves a substitute teacher. They're going to act up in school and, blase, blase. But they seek to encourage, so on that day, it's encouraged to increase respect for substitute education. So substitute teachers, advocate for all school substitute teachers to receive wage and health benefits for those that's working a full school year. Also professional development, also in the art of substitute teaching, also for the ones that that looking forward to be an actual teacher, not just to sub, but actually to teach. And so also provide a reminder for your school staff on effective practices to prepare for welcome and support substitute teachers. So basically, we need to have a professional development for substitute teachers. Just like how y'all have a professional development for beginning teachers, y'all need to have a professional development for substitute teachers as well, because they are, they're about to enter this education world. They're about to, they don't know what's going on. They're just substituting for that teacher for that day. But some down the road, maybe they'll be like, oh, I actually want to be a teacher. So we just need to have a professional development for the substitute teachers.
That's a great point that speaks for itself. And I really don't have much to say about it. Professional development for substitute teachers. Most subs are in it just for, just a little extra stream of income.
Mm-hmm.
You see very few that really take it seriously. But like you said, professional development really weed out those who actually really want to do it versus the ones who actually just doing it just to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Some of them just here for the paycheck and then leave. Once 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock hit, they're gone. So that's all I have for today. So just keep that in mind, because again, American Education Week is November 16th through the 20th which is just about a couple of weeks away, about 2 weeks away. So do you have any more thoughts on this, KJ?
I'm good. I think we hit every aspect of it, and so I'm excited to see what these schools come up with, and I will definitely be watching and retweeting.
Yeah, me as well. So that is the time. I don't have any more further comments or concerns about this topic. So make sure you tune in next week. Of course, I'll be back for the remainder of this season as Damian is taking a full season leave to taking care of himself, his mental health. So we will be back next week with another topic. Until then, I'm Andrew FRETT.
And I'm KJ Johnson.
And this is Future Educators Talk. Make sure y'all stay safe out there, especially with this victory going on right now. Maintain 6 feet, wear a mask, and wash your hands. So don't forget, we are all in this together. So we will see y'all next week.
What's going on, everybody? It's KJ here, letting you know that if you have any questions or concerns about Future Educators Talk, stories to share, feedback to make our podcast better, reactions to the topics that we discuss, jokes to tell, or you would like someone for the co-host to interview, please let us know by direct messaging us on Instagram at Future Educators Talk, emailing us at futureeducatorstalk@gmail.com, or sending in a voice message to us by going to anchor.fm/futureedtalk. Click on the message tab to where you can record your question to us. Once again, we thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support, and we cannot wait for you to tune in for season 4.
Don't just listen to Future Educators Talk on your smartphone. Continue the conversation online. Like us on Facebook. Be a part of our conversation by telling us what you think of our episodes. Join us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content. Follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss future episodes. And beyond, it's you who keeps Future Educators Talk going. So like, comment, share, subscribe, review, and connect everywhere with us. You get social. So let's listen together.